Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a career mode video. So many of you guys have asked if I could do like an actual career mode, and to be honest with you, I really wanted to play a lot of Ultimate Team when I was at the EA event. I wanted to do a lot of other stuff, so I really didn't spend too much time just going through an entire career mode. So instead I I chose PSG, and I just went through the beginning transfer window. I simulated a couple friendlies, so although I would have really, if I had loads more time, I would have definitely done like a full career mode for you guys, but unfortunately I just didn't have that time in hand. So I did decide to go with PSG just because I know they have a lot of money, and I just wanted to spend money on players and do all kinds of things. Another little thing I've been doing is I've been actually playing a lot of GTA recently. In the last 2 days since I got it, I've just been playing GTA religiously. GTA 5, that is, of course. The new one, it should be out in a day or two, but it is so much fun. I'm literally having so much fun with this game. But anyways, let's talk more about FIFA 14 because that's why you guys are here. Originally, the Champions Cup, we got Aston Villa in there. We got Southampton in the Champions Cup. And this happens every time. I talked about it in a live stream, a charity live stream that I did. But for some reason, every time you first draw the career mode sort of Champions Cup, you always get these really wacky teams and things. But if you redraw them again, you tend to get the ones you can kind of expect, the likes of Barcelona, Man City, all those sort of normal teams, if you will, Real Madrid. They all tend to come out and play. But yeah, the beginning part of a career mode is all very much the same. A little bit of a visual difference. I decided to skip all that beginning bit. Unfortunately, it is not super fast, which is a bit disappointing, but it's got to load somehow. But yeah, I just skipped through all that. But then here we are at these menu bits, and obviously we're straight into the transfer window. Just trying to get used to it again because, PSG actually have a really insane squad. Ibra, Cavani, Pastore, Lavezzi, Thiago Silva as well. Just so many quality players in their lineup. And one of the big things this year is scouts. And as you can see, PSG have a budget of 102 million. I believe that is the most in the game. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure it's the most in the game. So instantly, I went ahead and picked up a Belgian sort of a scout. Sorry, I don't know why it took me ages to find that word, scout. But yeah, I hired him up because in this game, guys, your scouts and all those sort of people are going to be probably the most important for you because they're the ones that are going to go and find out the overalls of some player, the potential of some player. They are really going to be so important. So I think this year, more than any other year, you're going to find yourself spending a lot of money on the high caliber scouts. And that's something I would recommend to you guys to do as well. And instantly straight into the global transfer network. As you can see, I already have a few there, a few scouts, Stefan Kadira there, and yeah, just a bunch of other players. As you can see, I wanted to sign another couple more because let's be honest, guys, we really want to bring in the best players possible to this particular team. I wanted to bring in another French scout, as you can see, and what I was really hoping is that when you sign a new scout, what I was really hoping for was that I would get another sort of 5-star judgment, 5-star experience guy. And I decided to fire Stefan Kadira there just to make room to see if I could put in a better sort of scout. And this one from Slovenia here, I won't even try and pronounce his name. He had 4-star judgment, 5-star experience, I believe. So those are the sort of things you really want to look at, and they will seriously give you guys the best results. Again, I fired that guy there just to see if there was anyone I could bring in instead who would be a little bit better. But the finances of PSG are just ridiculous, as you would kind of expect, but then straight into the instructions, so I could give my scouts the instructions that I was looking for. Guys, one big thing that I like about this is now I can set the contract so that I can just have players that have maybe 1 or 2 years left on their contract, and they're the only ones that are going to be scouted. I can also change their age, so maybe I'm looking for ones with some potential. And if you guys are looking for players with a lot of potential, as you can see on the attributes, you really want to look at that promising one. Now, personally, I didn't actually notice that until I was looking through the gameplay afterwards. I really probably should have taken a little bit more time just to take a look through all the different attributes. But guys, if you're looking for a player that is going to most likely turn into a bit of a monster, what you most likely want to do is have their age between 16 and maybe 24, 25, probably the oldest, and then make sure you have that promising box ticked. And then maybe some of the other ones there, maybe if you want them to be pacey, all that sort of stuff, maybe a free kick specialist, whatever. But, you know, if you're looking for those players that are really going to develop into something special and you want your scouts to come back with some really good results, those are probably the players you might want to pick up. Now, to anyone who has previously watched my career modes and things like that, you will know I always look for the players that are relatively young and look like they have a good career ahead of them. But with that being said, we then have to move on and make sure we set those instructions. I particularly just had a right back because why not? I was just testing things out. I wanted to really get a feel for how the game was, and I decided to keep changes, and there you go, right back. Actually, you know, I think I discarded those, but yeah, just any sort of right back. And trust me, guys, the thing is, what you want to do ideally is you want to actually have a very sort of targeted scouting, I want to say instructions. You want to make sure they're targeted. I've learned a lot of things even just by doing a little bit of this, just because what you want to do is you want to make sure they're targeted, and then the scouts are going to come back with the best results possible. If you guys leave it like I did there with any attributes, you know, and just a right back, they are going to come back with loads of players that you don't even want to, you know, you can't be asked with, you know, maybe they're going to cost a lot of money. But yeah, anyways, let's look at who I chased after next. Now, I went straight after Ronaldo just because PSG have a ridiculous budget, and I thought, why not? You know, it's worth a try. I might as well give it a go. And you know, this was always just going to be a quick sort of career mode, and I wanted to show you guys what sort of team PSG could have if they had Ronaldo in their side. So instantly I started chasing after him. As you can see, his overall there wasn't necessarily there, but of course when you decide to click on him, because Ronaldo is such a well-known player, you actually don't need any scouts to sort of know what overall rating he is. It'll already tell you he's 90 rated and he's gonna cost an absolute bomb. But for any other sort of players, guys, they won't know their overall. You know, of course, the big tier players, I didn't really check Falcao, but I know Messi, Ronaldo, you know, the big players, even the likes of Rooney, I'd imagine, there you're probably already going to know their overalls. But there are a lot of players out there you won't actually know their overall, and more importantly, you won't know their individual stats. Now, of course, you can set a scout to scout them out, which I'd recommend for you guys to do before buying any player, is go ahead and keep an eye on them, see what you know, see what sort of things they've got in their locker, that sort of thing, and then try and purchase them. Because another thing that it won't tell you is their estimated value. Again, you've got to put a scout out, you've got to make sure you scout the player, get his stats, his estimated value, you know, is he happy at the club, that sort of thing. That all comes with scouting a player. So like I said, guys, at the beginning of this commentary, scouting is going to be so important in this game, and that's why I'd recommend to anyone looking to jump into a career mode, make sure you invest well into your scouts, and I think in the long term it'll definitely pay off a lot more. Don't just go and buy the cheapest scout just because you want to put some players out there. I honestly think that, you know, it will be worth you know, putting 3, 4, 5 million even into a decent scout. Now, a few people might argue with me, and of course, you know, depending on what sort of club you're going to be with, you might not be able to shell out 5 million on a scout, which I completely understand. In that case, you want to go for someone maybe around like 2 million, and still pick up hopefully around the 3-star level on both experience and judgment. Now, of course, it's up to you guys whether you guys would prefer someone with experience. Now, for me, I'm not entirely sure, this is complete speculation, but I'd imagine you know, scouts with experience are probably going to be able to bring you guys back some slightly better results as to who you might be interested in purchasing. But judgment, if they're higher in judgment or they've got good judgment stars, then I'd imagine they're just better at knowing how much they're worth, you know, the stats that they possess, and that sort of thing. So that's kind of a complete speculation on my part. There's no official word from EA whether that is the case, but that's what I'd imagine it would be. Anyways, so now the whole new inbox system. The inbox system is fantastic. I don't know about you guys, but I got fed up of, you know, you're in the middle of simulating and you just kept getting interrupted by emails and emails that you really don't care about. But anyways, I decided to offer up 60 million plus Lavezzi, and the reason for that was, you know, I'm a big fan of Lavezzi myself, but, you know, if you can get Ronaldo, you won't really need Lavezzi. In fact, if I had Ronaldo, I reckon Lavezzi would probably be on the bench a whole lot more than he'd probably like, so it's probably better that I get rid of him. But anyways, Matuidi there looks like he is on his way out. The bid for Cristiano Ronaldo for 60 million and Lavezzi was actually accepted. Now, of course, he has a rather large wage demand, so I had to obviously accommodate that, and I decided to give him a 10% wage budget, because of course trying to persuade him to come to PSG is going to be, you know, pretty intense considering he's at Real Madrid at the moment. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for this first first part of my mini sort of series. Like I said, it is not, you know, it's not the longest a series. It is just going through the first transfer window. And when the game does actually come out, of course, I'll do a career mode. I've had so many requests that I do one, so you know, it'd be cruel of me to say no. And I'd love to do one for you guys. So this is kind of a taster of what's to come, and I really hope you guys are kind of excited for career mode. I know I am, and I hope to see you guys around for some more career mode goodness. As far as my Jordan Henderson video goes yesterday, I don't usually like to address a lot of stuff, but I wanted to kind of just quickly talk about that briefly. A lot of people kind of got the wrong side of it, I guess. You know, it's not like he left really angry at me or whatever. You know, we had a laugh. He understood it was a laugh. I told him beforehand, you know, just be prepared for, you know, some slightly strange comments and stuff like that. But you got to remember, professional footballers are very well media trained. They to try and get something out of them. I wanted to kind of make the video as interesting as possible in a way, and to try and do that, I had to ask some pretty strange questions in strange ways, because these guys, otherwise guys, if you wanted me to just ask the sort of normal standard questions, you guys can go and look at that at any old interview, you know. I really wanted to kind of do something different. A lot of people just thought I was being a huge dick to him, and you know, if I was, then I apologized for that. But you know, from the way we spoke after the game and everything, it was all just a good laugh. He seemed that he enjoyed the little session and stuff. But of course, like I said, these guys are so well media trained that you know, they really don't sort of give out too much of their personality in case it gets them into trouble. So just keep that in mind when you were watching the video. But like I said, I do apologize if I offended anyone or anything like that. Yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. So I appreciate anyone who kind of understood what I was getting at, and there were quite a lot of people in the comments who understood that it is hard for me, especially just to try and you know, try and make the video interesting, because I guarantee if I just, you know, ask the sort of standard questions, the usual stuff in the comments, wow, what a boring interview, all this stuff, it was so dead, blah blah blah. So I did try my best to try and liven things up, but some people took it as me being a dick. But I guarantee you that you know, Jordan Henderson wasn't exactly pissed at me afterwards. You know, we all it was all smile and laughter after the game. But that'll do it for me, guys. I hope you did all enjoy the game, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye bye.